Yeah, we're gonna talk about episode 14 of Riverdale, which is
the
best episode in a while. And probably the whole Riverdale series, yeah.
Yeah.
Has the best line of all time. But yeah, so I forgot what the name of it is. I forgot what the name of it exactly is, but it's.
It really could be any title you want to come up with.
Yeah, no,
you want to call it Shit Show Number 14? Sure.
Yeah, that's what you want to call it. But yeah, basically, it starts off with like, what's the name? The Cheryl, or that Asian woman that's selling the art. I didn't realize until we were looking it up, but her name is actually fucking
Minerva.
She actually has a name.
Yeah.
It's called Minerva.
Yeah, every time we were like, who the fuck is this chick? Who the fuck is this chick? This chick, who the fuck is she? And now we know.
Turns out, she's actually a person.
Yeah, she actually has a name.
So she's going over there for some reason into the Cheryl's house thing. And Cheryl wants to sell more paintings or whatever the fuck for some reason.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I'm only here because of that. Even though, like, before, she was like, remember, like, before she left, the first time she left, she was like, gonna be sacrificed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. And, you know, oddly enough, she wasn't okay with that.
Yeah. Who wouldn't, you know?
Yeah.
Don't you want to be sacrificed for the greater good?
Yeah, come on.
For a random fucking maple factory or whatever.
Or maple god. Is that what they're calling it? Like
the maple god? Yeah.
I have no idea, alright? Okay. Like
the mod?
Yeah, the mod.
But yeah, so she's like, I'm only coming here because of the fucking paintings. And I'm like, alright. Even if someone tried to kill you, would you go back? Be like, yeah, I'll go back just for the paintings. If that were true. I mean, I wouldn't. But that's just me. I'm not as smart as the Riverdale writers, apparently.
Yeah.
I couldn't say that with a straight face.
You just use the words Riverdale writers and smart in the same sentence?
Yeah. I unfortunately did.
Usually, we would do this like in a chat room while he streams, and then I would have the entire episode up on my Netflix and we would go through it. Yeah. Obviously that is not the case right now, so I have a recap from Entertainment Weekly posted by a reporter, and her streamer name for today will be I'm Full of Shit for 2069.
No, you don't have to fucking tell our secret. No, we're totally fucking... We totally did this off the back of our two giant brains that remember every single episode.
I'm pretty sure they don't know how we do it by now. I don't think they're ever going to know, so...
Yeah. Yeah, that's the biggest back burner question that everyone wants to know. Yeah. How the fuck did they do it?
How the fuck did they watch Riverdale and live?
How did they watch this shitty show? And not kill themselves?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think the first painting that she shows is like... Because I guess there's 3, I guess, in the entire thing. The first one's like Archie or whatever in like some cave in a miner's thing.
Yeah, so they're like mining for palladium.
And you're like, what the fuck is... And first you're like, what the fuck? Why is he in art? Why is he in a mine? And then like it fucking goes to like his story or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, we can't forget the fact that Archie's shirtless in the mine.
Is he shirtless? Oh.
Apparently he is.
You mean in the painting?
In the painting.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant in the actual show. I was like, I don't remember that.
No. Like the way Cheryl's painted him is shirtless.
Yeah.
Which, I mean...
She's not wrong, I guess.
He has been shirtless more times than he's had a shirt on.
And you're like... He must be shirtless all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that happens, then it goes to Archie, and then he's like... I forgot what happens, he's just talking, I guess, his 2 friends or whatever. The uncle and the other soldier guy.
Yeah. And Cheryl comes to his house and asks them to help her mine the palladium.
Yep. she's like, Lodge, Mr. Lodge, give me an idea. I'm gonna hire for Palladium.
And his uncle Frank, Archie's uncle, apparently has some mining experience. Because well, why the fuck not?
Apparently, he knows how. They know how to do everything. Everyone fucking has like a side hobby. Knows how to do.
Yeah.
Just a convenient thing, just in time.
Yeah.
Also, so how do they? So they're like, okay, I guess we'll do it. We'll help you with the mine.
Yeah.
So it's him, the army guys, and then do they get the kids?
No, but they. It basically takes them all of not even 30 seconds to find Palladium, but then.
No, because I was gonna say no, because I think they get the construction crew, I guess, from the Archie. Because remember, his dad has like a construction.
Yeah.
Business, and then I guess
so that's where they got the equipment from.
Okay, and then no, because I was gonna say how I mentioned this before, but how the fuck do they have all this time to keep adding on more fucking jobs?
Remember, Archie's a teacher. He's in charge of the fire department.
Yep.
He runs a dog rehabilitation program now.
Yep.
And that's not enough. He has to be a miner now.
Yeah, he's a fucking PE teacher. He's a fucking...
No, he's not even a PE teacher.
Oh.
He's a fucking army teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever the fuck he's... Like...
Because every class has that.
Oh, and he's a bad Batman.
Yeah, there's that too. And then they're just like... Yeah, I still have fucking 2 hours left in my day. I could be a miner. So they all like fucking decide to be miners.
Yeah. And so it doesn't take long for them to get Palladium, but then Archie hallucinates seeing someone we haven't seen in a while, and that's the Mothman.
Isn't that a little bit later? Like first he hallucinates and gets it's like he's seeing like the dead soldiers.
No, that's later.
I'm pretty sure the Mothman one is the second time. Because it's the first time they go in there, and then he gets like hallucinations. I think of like just the dead soldiers.
Yeah, and then his therapist gives him the anti-anxiety meds.
Yeah, because he decides to go to the therapist.
And then when he's mining, he sees the Mothman.
Yeah.
And then he marches straight into his therapist's office and accuses her of making him hallucinate.
Yeah.
Because what are these drugs? They're making me see the Mothman. I'm like, the therapist is just like, the fuck, bro? I'm like, fucking have a client right now.
She's like, the fuck? This is just Advil. No, but like, yeah, because the first time he goes in there, he hallucinates.
You gave me jingle jangle.
She's like, what the fuck is that? It sounds like some fake, stupid drugs.
Yeah.
He's like, it is. No, because the first time, he just sees like he's hallucinating his old
like army crew.
Yeah. And they're all dead and shit or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he hallucinates seeing. Yeah, so he hallucinates those guys. And he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but then the entire crew starts hallucinating.
Yeah.
So it's not just him. They realize they're suffering from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah.
And then,
well, that's a little bit later, but yeah, I was saying that like he sees was it the old little crew die or his crew's old crew's like, oh, what the fuck? And then he's like, and then he goes to he has a psychiatrist now. He's talking to her, and then he does that. She does that like hypnosis thing or whatever. The fucking oh shit. He does like the hypnosis from like Pokemon thing, from Hypno or whatever that Pokemon is called. And he goes like this, and then he sees everyone all around her. And he's like, what the fuck? And then he goes back to working in the mines. And then, but for some reason, like during lunchtime, they're talking about like they're talking about like the Jughead thing with like the Mothman, right? There's his other crewmates, right? And then he's like, what? And then they're talking about. He's like, oh, the Mothman. He's like, oh. Sometimes they see the Mothman in the fucking cave. And he's like, what the fuck? And then so when he goes in there, he sees a fucking he sees someone turned around and he turns around and then there's a fucking Mothman.
Yeah.
With like pigtails or something.
Yeah.
Because the Mothman has pigtails.
Which is like, I don't get it. Like, you're hallucinating your crew that died under your command. That's actually kind of normal.
Yeah.
But then you see the fucking Mothman.
Yeah, you hear one story about
You're
it.
Huh?
You hear one story about it and then you're like, Mothman.
But like,
and then you have hallucinations about it.
it's like, that is like Jughead's thing. So why the fuck is Archie hallucinating the Mothman? Unless the Mothman's actually real.
Because it's real. It's real, guys. It's totally not in your head.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking Dark Anthologies series. It's all in your head.
Yeah, it's all in your head. Yeah.
Until it's not. And then he gets super fucking pissed and he immediately goes to the fucking doctor when she's fucking talking to someone else.
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck? And he gets just roid rage. He's like, you making me fucking hallucinate with these fucking pills?
That's right.
Which, and I think in one of those, when I was looking at that article, it was like generic Xanax, and I was like, oh yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
So that happened, and that was pretty cool. And then the next day, I think his uncle goes and talks to him while he's like in that like the break time room, and then his uncle's like, hey, me and the guy is saying you should probably
you should probably
take a break.
Yeah, take a break. Yeah,
an hour for the day. And then he's like, he's like, fuck, fine, alright.
Yeah, go do this paperwork, bitch.
Yeah, he's doing paperwork, but then like he's like in the trailer, but then he like it cuts to him like I guess it's like later, but he's like outside, making a fire.
Yeah.
And then he's like really outside the cave, and then you can hear like he hears screaming. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then he goes back
and
in.
He runs in.
Yeah, and he like pulls everyone out.
Yeah, and it turns out everyone's like fucking going crazy.
Yeah.
And they're almost like starting fights and shit. And he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And then they move to the next painting, right?
No, well, yeah, and then, like, I forgot what happened, but then they were basically just like, and I was like, oh, it's fucking gas, and then they're like, yeah, it's gas. And then...
Yeah, Hiram farted.
Yeah.
Right in the mine.
Yeah. He just has a steady stream of farts into the mine.
Or maybe he sharded.
And then, yeah, so they're all having gas, and he's like, oh, what the fuck? And then they all go to Cheryl, and they're like, there's a bunch of gas in the mine, we can't do it anymore, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's like, just put on some fucking mask and go there and do it again.
Yeah.
Get that fucking shit from me.
Yeah.
And they're like, alright. And then I guess they continue doing it, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we have watched a few episodes later, and they don't
really
mind about it anymore, which the series tends to do a lot, where they just pick up one plot and then they forget another one.
Yeah.
And then they pick up a new one and completely forget what the fuck was happening with the previous ones. Yeah, and then I think so. Like, I don't understand if like, yeah, because then it goes out and it's Cheryl talking to the fucking Minerva girl again, and then she goes to another painting. But like, so obviously all that painting thing where she's showing the thing is all in one day. I guess, or one night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean all the other stuff was happening before? Because it can't be happening. It can't be happening at the same time.
Like I said, maybe these characters don't actually exist at all. It's just Cheryl that exists, and she's drawn them in paintings, and she's made them up.
Yeah, no, that's obviously what it is. It's fucking 7 seasons of fucking. Oh, it's just Cheryl's fucking imagination.
Well, I mean. A better explanation.
I'll fucking march all the way to the headquarters and demand them to get my time back from watching this shitty show, if that's the case.
Like, you're just like, I'm doing a podcast of the show, and I need that time back. So fuck you guys. And then like the CW's like, we're gonna need to see that podcast, and you're just like, oh, there's no podcast. And they're being like, well, why not? You just said there was. Oh, it's just me and my friend shit talking the show.
But it has millions of views.
It has millions of views, and like more than the amount of people that watch the show. And you're like, yeah, probably.
Probably one or two more. Like, oh my god. Like, if that's actually the fucking case. I'll just fucking, I don't know. Shit on a stick or something. I'll mail them my piece of food. Because that would just be fucking stupid as shit. If that's if the whole thing is just like, hey, yeah, this whole thing is just her imagination flying away.
Yeah.
You're like, what? You mean I fact to imaginations? That's impossible.
Yeah. All right. So the second painting.
Yeah. And it's like
it's
Betty, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Betty, the FBI agent.
Right. FBI in heavy quotations.
Yeah. So she has Polly's suspected killer from the previous episode chained up in the fucking auto shop classroom at Riverdale High.
Yep, because that's the most logical place to go. To the fucking school you work at.
Yeah.
Where kids can possibly, or any fucking teacher, anyone could possibly show up at.
And she realizes that she's not getting anything out of him. And this is the scene.
Yeah.
Where she says the greatest fucking line we've ever heard.
The greatest quote of all time.
He says, I need my one phone call. I'm in America right now and I have rights.
Yeah.
And she says, You're not in America. You're in Riverdale. Fucking single greatest fucking line in a fucking entertainment property I've ever heard.
It's the best line of any TV show of all time. Because it makes no sense.
It makes no sense. Do you know why? Because Riverdale's in the fucking United States, okay?
Yeah. It's right in the middle of it. You're like... She's like, oh no, honey. You're wrong. You're not in America. You're in fucking Riverdale. Like, what? It's like, excuse me, is Riverdale a fucking sovereign nation now?
Is Riverdale Quebec?
They just have, like, fucking diplomatic immunity? Does that mean anyone can does that mean anyone can, like, create, or, you know, do crimes over there?
Sure.
And, like, they won't get prosecuted?
Why do you think there's, like, one fucking cop there?
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, that makes sense. That makes sense why there's so many illegal activities and shit happening all the time there.
Yeah.
Because no one can get prosecuted.
Exactly. Exactly. No, like, what was the process when you were reviewing the script? You see that line, and the one guy's like, "But isn't Riverdale in the United States?" And the guy's like, "No, it's not. It's its own place. Son of a bitch. You're fired." Is that what happened? Like, the one guy with a brain said, "Hey, Riverdale's in the USA," and that's what got him fired.
The craziest part is that, like, someone actually came up with that.
Someone actually came up with that line.
Wrote that down.
Someone, and I may say that the chimps write for this show, but it's actually humans, and that's worse.
Yeah,
that's worse. That means a fucking human being, like me and Brillu, is out there writing the script for this show.
Yeah,
and I think they've lost their mind. They don't live... The people that write for this show do not live in reality.
Yeah. Someone...
Because those that do don't come up with fucking lines like that.
Someone actually sat down and wrote this in a fucking script. Then they went over in a fucking meeting and fucking actually went over this and were like, yeah, that's fine. And then also someone else, the fucking actors, read the line, was like, yeah, that's fine, and then also said the line out loud. She says that fucking so seriously.
Yeah, she does.
In a fucking TV show, and then someone else went into the editing thing and edited that and put that into the fucking show. And then I'm assuming, hopefully, that they reviewed it after the fact, and then they were like, yeah, that's fine. This makes sense.
Yep. So one, the guy had to come up with that line. And number two, the actress that plays Betty had to fucking say it.
Yeah.
That means that she looked at it, thought it was okay, and she said it.
With the most...
And I want to know.
She said it so with the most sincere fucking...
Sincere and serious face.
In acting.
And I want to know how much she was paid. Because if it's below $5 trillion, that's not enough to say something like that.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's not enough. Whatever she got paid is not enough.
And if they're going to come up with lines like that that are not representative of people living in reality, then when we talk about the actors and actresses getting paid, I think they're paid in Monopoly money and they just don't know it.
Yeah. No, they're fucking paid too much.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It was the craziest shit. I actually had to pause because we saw it together. I had to fucking pause the scene and be like,
that's right, we did see that one.
And be like, did that fucking just happen right now? And then surprisingly, because the only reason I know that it did actually happen is because you're in the same fucking room as me.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, it did actually happen. What the fuck? And it blew my mind.
Okay, that's a lot of money.
Are you looking up how much they get paid?
Yeah, I am. That's right.
Is that even like public info?
Apparently.
Weird. So yeah. She's interrogating that guy, right?
Yeah. Okay, so
and then
she makes.
Well,
the actress that plays Betty makes $40,000 per episode.
$40,000. Wow.
That means that she makes $40,000 for that one episode.
I wish I could make $40,000 just for saying stupid shit.
And not get fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
You gotta fucking raise. Oh my
anyway,
god.
Back to.
Yeah, so
back to this.
Back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh. So she's fucking interrogating the guy. She's like not getting any headway, and then she's like, maybe I'll appeal to his human side, and she's like,
she brings in
she's showing him she's showing pictures.
Yeah.
Of the fucking shit, and he's just like, nah, I fucking love to kill him. Yeah. And she's like, and he's like, they're just like hunting with my dad back in the day. It's like, what the this guy's fucked up.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, it's funny, in the previous episode, I think I forgot to mention, but remember when like the first red flag was like, he was like, oh, I like watching the lights go out of their eyes.
Oh yeah.
When talking about this guy?
That was fucked up.
I was like, why would you say that if your intent is to kill this fucking woman? You're like, I'm gonna give the biggest red flag in fucking history. I mean, you might as well just be like, I murdered fucking people for a living.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't you like, hey, I just need to go outside for a pee for a little bit. Yeah, my grandma dying is really sad, and then you fucking try to kill her. I don't know. Yeah, but besides that, and then so back to fucking the thing. He basically just goes, yeah, I love hunting. They're just like hunting animals with my fucking dad or whatever, and you're like, holy shit. And then so she's like, that doesn't work. And then like you were gonna say, she fucking
brought her mom in.
Yeah.
And her mom's like, you need to kill this guy. And I'm just like, what?
She brings her mom, which is like, okay, now your mom knows that like they fucking you're fucking just what's it called? You kidnapped a fucking dude. And you're keeping him hostage in the fucking school.
Yeah.
And then she's like, alright, I'll help. And then she's like showing pictures of Polly. She's trying to like humanize the guy to see if he'll like, you know, confess or whatever the fuck, or tell where the bodies are or whatever. And then he's like, oh my, and then I don't know, I forget what he does, but then he just like says some more crazy shit, right? I forget exactly what he says, but he says some more crazy shit, right? And then the mom gets super fucking pissed.
Yeah, that's right.
She's like, what the fuck? And then like,
yeah.
And then Betty drags her away, and then he starts laughing, and then later the mom's like, yeah, you can kill him or whatever.
See, I keep getting the order wrong.
Yeah.
But she like, oh yeah, he says that. No, she says she's gonna cut him into pieces with a chainsaw. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Well, because she goes back, right? And then
yeah.
And then it's like nothing's working, and then he's like,
she literally actually grabs a chainsaw.
Yeah.
And she fucking turns it on.
Yeah, she goes.
And the guy did not shit his pants once.
Yeah.
Okay?
Because she goes up and she's like, yeah, I'm not gonna kill you, but I'm gonna fucking chainsaw every limb off your body.
Which is, he'll be dead.
And I was like, holy shit. And then she's like, no, she said she was gonna cauterize his like wounds or whatever too, to keep him alive as long as possible or some bullshit. And it's like, holy fuck. And then so she goes to actually grab a fucking chain or whatever that is, like a chainsaw, yeah.
Yeah.
But then as she turns back, you see him with like blood on his face or whatever the fuck, and just slumped on the chair, and it's like somehow he killed himself, right?
Yeah, he bites his own tongue off and he chokes on it.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, because I had no idea. Wait, he bites his own tongue off?
His own tongue, yeah, that's right.
What?
Yeah, it explained that.
It did?
In the episode, I think Betty said to Betty's mom, oh, he bit his own tongue off.
Oh.
And he obviously choked on it because he's dead.
Jesus.
Yeah, that would fucking hurt.
Yeah, that fucking would hurt.
It's almost as if he had something to hide.
Yeah, like killing all the people?
Yeah.
But, oh my god.
Anyway,
because I thought he got shot, because it looked like he got shot in the head, but I was like, that's not possible.
That's just blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he just fucking...
So, but apparently her
right,
theory after she sees that he's dead is that he's one member of like a family that hunts people. Apparently. And so she thinks that maybe the family killed Polly. I don't know. Who knows?
Is that what's in this article you're reading?
Yeah.
Because yeah, I was gonna say that's probably not the trash bag killer. Because remember when we were watching, I was like, oh yeah, this is probably not the trash bag killer. He's probably still alive and doing shit. Oh, it's gonna be family. It's gonna be like stupid Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one really strong dad that can't die. Like a Michael Myers type character that just doesn't die. God, okay. Yeah. And then this is another this is another plot that like, along with the Archie Minor thing that just kind of like, they just kind of forget about. Because like, we watched the next 3 episodes and they don't mention what the fuck, like, is his body still there in the fucking shop, just dead with his tongue cut off, and there's kids working on cars in the background?
I'm like, whatever question you ask me, I'm like that Zac Efron meme where I just like am shrugging everywhere, like, I don't know, I have no fucking idea.
Because yeah, that was.
Yeah, so that was the Betty painting.
Yeah.
Oh, that one was a doozy.
Yeah.
And now,
I mean, at least it had one line that was great.
Yeah. And now we're at the Jughead painting.
Oh right, I forgot. Yeah. I heard that a third painting.
So Jughead is an alcoholic.
Yeah.
He's going to AA, and explaining about how he became addicted to alcohol.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's in AA now, right? Like he's currently in. He's talking about it, right?
And he's explaining what drove him to drink, and he was also saying that he did mushrooms to help him write. And I'm amazed that everyone in the meeting didn't suffer a stroke right then and there, because most people would have said, after someone would say, I did mushrooms to help me write novels, most people would have said, what the fuck?
Yeah. They're like, that checks out, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
and
so
then we finally get the backstory of the drunk voicemail.
Right.
That he left Betty.
You get to hear his side of it. Right.
And that's when apparently he disappeared for 3 days.
Yeah, it was literally like right after that. He didn't even go to his book opening or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, because and 3 days later he woke up in the hospital.
Yeah.
Because he was in that seedy part of town. I think they call it Skid Row in the article.
Right. I mean, Skid Row is an actual thing.
Yeah. So he ended up, because he was hitchhiking to New York. Remember? At the end of one of the previous episodes, you see him on the road.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's where he was going to New York to try and piece what happened. Because he blacked out.
Wait. Aren't those two separate times, though?
Not really.
No. Because there's the one where he blacked out in New York, with the one that he's talking about now.
Yeah.
But then there's the one that just happened a couple episodes ago where.
Yeah,
That's a separate time though, because that's in Riverdale.
Yeah, he's going from Riverdale to New York.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying. He was saying that what happened in New York was like quite a while ago.
Yeah.
So he hitchhiked to New York to try and like figure out what happened to him.
Oh, I thought because he was explaining it in the story, and I thought that he did that like maybe a week or two after the event had happened in the past. But you're saying it was like right after the one in Riverdale.
Yeah. So like the New York.
So several years later, they're still gonna be fucking.
Yeah, that was several years ago.
I know, but that's what I mean. So several years later, he goes back to New York, and he's like,
and he finally
happens to go up, happens to find the exact place he was fucking in.
Don't try to make sense of this show.
It's fucking huge.
Don't.
Oh my god.
So he tells the fucking people in the meeting about this guy named the Rat King. And it's funny, I didn't know Jughead was in The Last of Us Part 2, but apparently I guess he was.
Yeah. He just played it. That's why.
And but he's apparently the Rat King is someone who lives in the sewers of New York City. So he's just like any other regular New Yorker.
Yeah, apparently.
And apparently he fell through a sinkhole on the fucking street. And streets are made with asphalt. I didn't think there could be a fucking sinkhole in asphalt, but I guess there is now.
I mean,
I was fucking wrong.
Not in New York. In like Florida or something, because like I think they have sinkholes there, but not like in fucking the middle of New York City. I don't know. I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, the person writing this article was saying, quite frankly, I find the sinkhole harder to believe than the man living in the sewers. And I'm like, hey, you're not wrong.
Yeah, so apparently he falls in a sinkhole, and then he's telling the story.
And he woke up covered in rats after he left Betty in that voicemail. He fell through the sinkhole.
Yeah.
And then he was covered in rats.
Which
obviously commanded by the Rat King.
Yeah, so he concocts the story of the Rat King to, I guess, because he was drunk or whatever. I guess he was drunk for 3 days straight somehow.
Yeah.
So he can get out of there. And then he has some sort of dream of Betty saving him by being an angel. And she's like, they flood the sewers like twice every year, once every 2 weeks or some bullshit. You're gonna die in here. And then she's a shaved head, but then they start running. And then you can see her with the ponytail still. And I was like, okay, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Oh, yeah. No, it's just the camera angle that makes it look like she has a shaved head.
Yeah, so that fucking happened too, which was... Oh my god. Yeah, so
Cops
like...
found him and took him to the hospital.
Yeah.
Where
and then,
he was treated for rabies.
Yeah, apparently he had fucking rabies too somehow. I guess from the rats? Or from himself? Can you...
You never know.
Can you self-induce? Can you give yourself self-induced rabies?
Only in Riverdale. Oh wait, no, he's not in Riverdale. He's in New York.
Yeah, he's in New York.
Apparently in New York.
Yeah.
Oh, and then that was the final painting that she painted.
Right.
And so she talks to Minerva, and Minerva's like, "Hey, I was offered up as a sacrifice, but that was fucked up. But I still like you." And then they proceed to, but she says that she's moving to South Africa.
Yeah.
And
For
she's leaving in the morning. And so Cheryl, how the fuck
like,
I don't know how she did this. She convinces Minerva to have sex with her that night.
Well, no,
in the house, run with the mother living there that wanted to offer her up as sex.
Yeah. Well, she's like, but we still have tonight.
Yeah.
And they fucking did it. Yeah, in the same house where there's a dead skeleton in a chest.
Yeah.
Like the crazy mom with the church thing.
Who drinks her son's blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. That was the episode.
Yeah, that was that episode. And it only gets more crazy from here. But, you know, it's Riverdale, so what do you expect? Oh yeah, no, the next, I guess we could discuss this too. The next episode is like, what is it called? A musical one? And I don't know if we... I mean, I guess we could talk about it, but I don't know, do you want us to do like two, for the next episode, do like 2 and 1?
Let us know.
We can do that one and then the one after that. Just let us know if you want. Cause we'll fucking do it. We're fucking crazy with it.
Yeah. Look, we don't have structure. We have no lives.
No, clearly not. I mean, that is probably the most true thing in our whole life. But yeah, that was the greatest episode of Riverdale of all time.
Yeah, greatest, okay?
And
by great, it's fucking terrible.
that was the greatest episode of, was it TV history? Of a TV series history of all time. Any Riverdale episode. There is one... It does get more stupid. There is actually one other line that we just saw, like, maybe like almost an hour ago.
Oh, yeah.
On, like, episode, what, like 17 or something? And it was fucking stupid, too. Can I grab this fucking goddamn... But yeah. I guess that's it for this one, though. Okay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, though. Yeah, just let us know if you guys want the 2 episodes in one. Because it is a musical episode. I think for episode 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the next one. And I was actually gonna say that, you know, like a couple episodes ago. I was like, when we were talking, I was like, I wonder when they're gonna do like a musical episode, because they usually have like one or so per season. But yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe.
Yeah.
Again, let us know if you guys want us to do the 2-in-1 or whatever. Because, yeah, it's a musical, but it's also sort of like, it's a musical, but it's also sort of a side. It doesn't necessarily, it's like 3 characters that aren't really in Riverdale anymore, and like, it's not even like the main cast. It doesn't really like further the story of almost anything really. So yeah, we might do like two for one the next episode.
Yeah.
If not, I guess we'll just do the 1 for 1, I guess, as we usually do. But yeah. Thank you for watching. See you guys on the next one.